Welcome to CFC Fan TV. We have some very good news for you. Chelsea are on the verge of signing Gonzalo Higuain. Sophie, you happy about this one?
Are we talking long term or short term?
Are you happy today?
Yeah.
You've got to be happier than that.
Yeah. I mean, me and Charlie.
Why the hesitancy?
Me and Charlie, when we've been doing our, we used to do Backpage Blues and all that. We were talking about this one for a couple of years. His name's popping up here and there. My only concern about this one is it is basically just another Giroud, just not playing in the Premier League at the moment.
He's been in his career far more than Giroud has ever been.
Yeah, he is 31 years old. For me, I think since Emanalo's left, the club have been very much more, open-minded about who they sign. I think we've made definitely some better signings. You cannot say, like I said to you before this video, that Jorginho and Kovacic aren't, better signings than the likes of whoever else we've had that hasn't worked out. And I seriously think, we bought Morata. We had the intention was right to spend a lot of money on a player. When we want somebody, we do go and fork out the money. It hasn't paid off, and that's why we've got ourselves in a situation now where we're looking at players short term, but it's not really a long term solution, is it? He's not going to be a long term solution if he's 31. Yeah, you could have him for a couple of years, but he's not the answer to all our problems. He's not going to be in Sarri's system for the long term.
I agree with you. I don't think he's the answer to our problems long term. But the reason I think that isn't because of his age. At 31, he comes in at 31. He could easily do us a good job for 2 years, and that is kind of long term for us at the moment. When you look at the turnover of players.
But I would love
if
to
if
think...
he does 2 or 3 years, that's, how long was Diego Costa?
Totally, but wouldn't you love to see somebody... I mean, I can't remember, other than Didier Drogba, which actually worked out well and won a European Cup with him. It works for us as a club to have a long-term striker.
Yes, but I mean, we tried that with Morata. Morata was bought for that player.
But I just think that this is one of those situations where it just hasn't paid off, where you think it's going to be the answer to your problems. They finally spent money on a striker. It hasn't worked out, and that's the way it's gone. So we can't really dwell on that. I'm just saying that I think for this player, and bear in mind, I think we read up online, didn't we, that he had a very impressive season. I mean, he's played with Sarri before with Napoli. He had a very impressive 2015-16 season. I think he scored 38 goals in 42 games, which that's insane. That's really good.
I mean, yeah, that's
what
obviously
we need.
Brilliant, and
the
fact that he's got that established relationship with Sarri is obviously good news. I'm really pleased about this. I really am. I think our striking situation is critical at the moment and bordering on embarrassing. Alvaro Morata is not good enough. Olivier Giroud is a scorer of great goals rather than a great goal scorer. If you look at a back catalogue of his goals, they are outrageously good, but he just doesn't do it often enough.
Yeah, but I also think though with Giroud, he has to be playing a bit more frequently. It's really, I feel like if Giroud was, it could work with another team that are doing really well and they bring him on as a sub and he's guaranteed to get a goal. But when the rest of your team aren't really performing well, for you to then just come into a game where you haven't really played in the last 2 games, then come in on the last 20 minutes and try and make something happen when the rest of your team isn't performing, I think it's very different. As well as you come into a team that's already doing really well, you're taking off one striker because he's scored a couple goals and you want somebody else to come in and score the third. That's a different situation. We don't really have that at the moment because the whole team isn't playing very well. You can't deny we're not playing very dull football.
But Higuain would change the shape of that. So if Higuain became our main striker, and let's just live the dream for a moment. He arrives, he hits the ground running, he scores against Arsenal, we knock Tottenham out the semi-final. That takes loads of pressure off Olivier Giroud, which will make Giroud's life so much easier, so that when he comes on, he's an impact player. Yeah, he wouldn't feel the weight of the entire club on his shoulders, which is how he must feel at the moment.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because basically teams now are so privileged with, when they play against us. They know if they stop Eden Hazard, they stop us pretty much. Mm-hmm. So they can double up on him, they can almost treble up on him, which means it's impossible for him, so he's not going to score, which means Olivier Giroud, if he's on the pitch, has to. And we're so reliant on Hazard, and our goals are just coming from nowhere, that if Higuain can come in, take some of that burden, hit the back of the net occasionally, it's going to make everyone's life easier, isn't it?
Totally, and I like I said, I think he's a good player, and I'm happy that we're signing someone. I mean, if we walk out of this window without signing a striker, it would
That's not going to happen.
It would be horrific. Yeah. It would be the most ridiculous thing. So, and I do get bored of what I hear during transfer. It's like, okay, we're going to sign this midfielder. Okay, yeah, Chelsea have no problem in signing midfielders. We do it very well. We make some very good signings. Like I said, Jorginho and Kovacic, I think, are very good signings. despite what's going on with Jorginho at the moment and the sort of controversy there. But I do think we need to put that energy into signing a long-term striker. So yes, I think he's a good deal and a good signing for the rest of the season. And if he does well, then of course we'd like to see him feature. But I don't think when we're talking about, we're not talking about adding a striker to a very good collection that we've already got. We're talking about somebody to come in and really turn our season around. And I worry that we'll have him for 6 months. If he has a good game, brilliant. But then Chelsea will think, oh, okay, actually, yeah, we'll just keep him a little bit longer. And then the second season doesn't work out the same way. So I would like to think that Chelsea aren't thinking of him as he's going to be the answer to all our problems, but maybe like a reinforcement.
Yeah, and also at some point, you want to look long term. You want to think about players that could be at the club for the long haul and establish themselves and make a real impact. That's the dream scenario, but we're not living in that. Mm-hmm. We need a player to come in and just do us a favour, just help us get through this season because we have no options up front. Effectively, do you remember when Manchester United? I think, God, it can't be far off a decade ago. They were in a similar situation and they signed Henrik Larsson. They brought in Henrik Larsson for about 6 months. Came in, he scored probably 8 goals for them in that period. They ended up having a really good season. They love him, they're forever grateful. We could do with that, couldn't we? So even if Higuain comes in on loan and simply gets us through the rest of the season, we end up qualifying for the Champions League, we nick a trophy, nick 2 trophies maybe. Mm-hmm. That would be a brilliant scenario. Yeah. So this signing has a lot of potential to go quite well and may go very well. If
it does go through, I do think it needs to happen before.
Now.
Yeah, and also I would like to see him feature against Tottenham because for me actually...
he has to play against Tottenham. But right. I'm worried, when we play Newcastle on the weekend?
Yeah, I'm worried now.
We haven't got any options up front.
But do you know what I think for Sarri? I think the hype around him and when he came in was, and even Pep Guardiola said that he thinks he's technically one of the best coaches out there. He has to win a trophy this season for me. I don't think... Yes, it's his first season. He does need to get his own team together. And yeah, he has sort of adapted just Conte's old team, more or less. But I do think he needs to win a trophy to show that actually his play does work. Because if you don't win... If we do...
We need a trophy.
God forbid, go out of the League Cup, we really are... We're not going to win...
And also, if our league form suffers, we're then going to be really reliant on qualifying for the Champions League via winning the Europa League, which is going to be very tough as well. Yeah. So, just one last point on this, actually. If this Higuain transfer does happen, what does that mean to...
Morata?
I think we know what it means for Morata, even if we don't sign it. What does it mean for Michy Batshuayi?
That, to me, that angers me. Do you know how much that angers me, guys? That really, really makes my blood boil a little bit. It's bizarre. I just think it's completely and utterly ridiculous.
What, you think we should be talking about him potentially coming in to rescue his...
Obviously. It was so stupid to let him go. Everyone's like, oh, no, he wasn't good. The reason Batshuayi was never able to reach his full potential when he was at Chelsea the first time round is because Conte didn't like him. He didn't want to play him. If you're a player and you're scoring goals already...
Furious.
Which was good, yeah. And you're scoring goals already when you've got a manager who doesn't like you. And it's a bit like if you go into work every day and your boss absolutely hates you. Are you gonna do the best you can?
I didn't realise that I'd woken this dormant anger.
I think I've just
quite intimidated.
I've just put it to the back of the closet. Sammy, don't you laugh at me. I can see you back there. It's not funny.
Yeah,
hello?
I agree. But what does it mean? Does Higuain coming in mean that
Bring
Batshuayi...
him back. Bring him back regardless. I haven't even heard, word of that properly. I don't think the club are even thinking about it, and it's completely and utterly bizarre to me, and I think under Sarri he would do so well. I think he's exactly the type of player that would do really well under Sarri.
There we go. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm perhaps not as passionate as you about that one, but I do like to see it in you.
Yeah, but in terms of... Well, I'm sorry, I don't think you... Did you sit through the Southampton game the other day 0-0? Me and Dan were literally sat there like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Boring.
But listen, I think... But on a last note, I think in terms of Morata, if you know you've got another striker coming in when you're already the most expensive there, I think he knows for his career. The only reason I can think he would want to stay... The only reason he could even want to stay is because he wants to... live in London. That's the only thing I can think of.
He's got to go to Seville, hasn't he? He's got to go, just try and...
But even for himself, it'd be good for his career and his reputation to just go and do well somewhere else. I highly doubt he's never going to score another goal in his life. It's not going to happen.
Maybe not for Chelsea.
Not for Chelsea, no, but for another team, I mean.
There we have it. There we have it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do it right now and comment below. Let us know, do you want to see Gonzalo Higuain in a Chelsea shirt?